Welcome back, boys and some girls. This video will be a sort of a guide for everything related to vehicles in the game. As you always should, we will start at the very start. For vehicles, it's blueprints. You find them as you play the game, when you take over outposts or headquarters, maybe some relics and some random missions. Before we get to using the vehicle, we need to actually build one. Your first and most important part is the engine. The engine actually defines how much you can carry, meaning what is your maximum weight for the vehicle. It also affects how long you can boost for and how defended are your driver and your engine. The best engine in the game is a legendary one with a 6.1k weight available, which is plenty even for a very heavily fortified vehicle with tons of equipment. There's a lot of rules regarding the building and what is and what is not possible, so instead of just speaking nonsense, let's just go into the garage for a better explanation. So first thing, you can have up to 5 vehicles after you upgrade here. Your battle wagons to the max, you can only have 5 of them. The max level of trailers is 3. You cannot have any more than 3 trailers. You are given a very free hand and you don't need a lot of things to actually allow yourself to build the vehicle. You will get some warning, but you can basically have a completely empty truck only with a commanding station and engine and some wheels. Regarding weapon resources, each trailer needs its own resources, meaning, for example, for this one, because we have a bunch of weapons on each trailer, we need a generator on each trailer. You cannot have one generator for both of the trailers. This doesn't work for fuel or water. It's completely fine to have one no matter where for your entire vehicle. If you hadn't noticed, you can see your requirements right here on the ground. If, for example, I took a different kind of weapon, one that would require a compressor, for example, like this one, you would see I need a compressor. It shows that I'm lacking some PSI. It's the same for every other weapon, including the flamer. At the start, where you don't have a lot of materials, a lot of things to work with, what you can do is basically be creative. For example, if you don't have any strong kind of shields that you can place in front, so you can do something like this. You can just use this fence, which has 250 HP, instead of what you would usually have at this point, which is this. This one has 100 HP, this one has 250 HP. But the problem is, this one is a slight bit heavier. Higher, I mean. What you can do, again, very simple, is just place a block. And then place the gunner on top of it. And then it will be almost the same thing as a short barrier in front of it, so it won't block the gun. Because if I place a gunner, let's take the most simple, let's take a random gunner for example, this one won't get blocked. However, if I move this guy back here, and I move this thing, and I move you now in front, because this one is too close, it will actually block him from shooting this direction. The reason why he's looking left is because there is a short shield here, so he can actually shoot to the left, but he won't be able to shoot to the front. All objects need 2 full squares in order to be accessible. So if I place this thing here and we have 1 square because we have half and a half, it says it's inaccessible. But if I move it, it has 2, so it's fine. These are the rules. If you want to set yourself to know which paths are okay and whatnot, you need 2 squares basically to access places. Next is the point where 2 trailers connect. You can't place anything that's right there. If you try to place it between the vehicles, it won't work. If you place it right on the edge, this also won't work. It will allow you to place, but you won't be able to interact with it in the level. I'm unaware if this is a bug or if it's intentional. Just know that you won't be able to actually use this hose, for example, if there's a fire or anything. Let's just quickly build an example of a vehicle because it's much easier to understand when you actually see an example, right? We're just going to make kind of a basic vehicle. I will be using high level stuff just because it's higher on the list of the items, so I don't need to roll all the way down. But it works the exact same way for lower kind of weapons and everything, right? But these ones, some of them don't even require anything, so you can just place them down, just so you know, because this one doesn't require anything. But as you go up and higher in the things start to require compressors and fire stuff, and things start to be a bit more costly. So we have just a thing right here with absolutely nothing. You can see it even touching the ground because I have no wheels on it. Don't worry, we will fix it. Yes, I currently have the legendary engine going on just because I can play with the weight as much as we want, and we don't really need to worry about it. We're going to be adding weight to it. It's going to add a little bit of a trail ride going on. You can do whatever you want. You can add another one, and I can have another one. That's because I have the third upgrade going on, but you have only one. That's completely fine. Then you have to start to choose whatever wheels that you have. I didn't really notice the wheels making any big difference. The only real difference I noticed is just, again, how they look and the weight between some like monsters, small, big, whatever. I don't know if they give more power, less power, or what's the math behind that. I haven't noticed anything different no matter which kind of wheels that you use. I think it's just like a cosmetic thing. You need to use enough wheels to make sense. Again, physics. You can't just not have any wheels in the bag, right? It doesn't make any sense. You need to have wheels in places that make sense. You can also follow the right here on the right to do whatever you want. You just need to basically, again, just have a command station, and this truck is good to go. However, we are going to be making an average thing, so it doesn't... We are basically going to be getting rid of all those warning things right at the start, right? Let's go. So, command station here in the chairs. You can use whichever one you want. They don't really matter. Again, visual stuff. I take this one, the Gunnets one, because it's small, so it doesn't take a lot of space, and you don't need to mess too much with it. So we have this, and technically we can leave right now and go. I recommend, first of all, placing your weapon stations, right? So you have your weapons like in your head, like what you want to do, how you want to place things before you actually start to build everything around it, because everything will be based around your weapons. My recommendation is long range in the front and in the back, right? And let's do this. Long range in the front and in the back. And short range stuff, I have to make it in the middle. It's gonna bother me if I don't. And all the high, I don't know which one do I want to use. Well, let's go lower maybe for things that you would use more. Let's take for this one, for example. It's a pretty low grade weapon, right? So this thing, it's a 360 weapon. So again, it's not good. I need to build like something that's let's use the repeater, rust repeater. This one is a pretty good weapon for starters. Like, it's a very good weapon, starting weapon. This one has 120 degrees in front of it, and it doesn't cost like a lot to make. You can see at the bottom what it costs to make. Now, you need to decide. However, defense do you have? What kind of defense do you have? Do you only have the scrap metal one? If you do, then I would not recommend doing this. I would recommend doing the thing that I showed you with this one, with the metal fence. However, there is a big difference here. You can see the weapon fire angles are blocked, because this thing doesn't have a 360 around it, so he can't move in all directions. He can only shoot forward. So for example, this thing is going to be very bothersome from him. So it's also maybe a good example to show you again what I meant before. And now he can shoot again. And now he has the same defenses as if I placed a short shield in front of him. So for example, this guy, these guys have the same defenses right now, size-wise I mean. So they're defended in the same way. However, this guy has a shield of 250 HP in front of him, and this guy has a shield of 100 in front of him. It's a very big difference. When you get later on into the stages and you get the, where is it? So once you get to this stage where you can use titanium, which is right at the end, from what I remember, this thing and this thing are the same size. This thing has 300 HP, this thing has 250 HP. Weight 5, weight 9. But if you get the good engine, it doesn't matter what the weight is. 300 versus this. I would recommend using this, because this looks much better and also has more HP. So same exact logic. Put this thing here. You can use, where is it? This thing also had 300 HP. Boom. So you can do that, but then it depends on the size of your truck and if things are symmetrical, because you can only put a certain amount of these, and then you have to put like the long one, the one that's more, what is it, the tall one, tall and thin one. Basically depends like on what kind of building do you have. That's pretty much up to you, whatever you want to do. I will do obviously something just to close this thing off in a second. This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying it's very creative. You can do whatever you want. Let's quickly just use this storage. For example, I'm going to use this storage. I guess let's put one near him, like that. Great. And now what you need to do is also place the water and let's use the large, I guess. Doesn't really matter too much. You just need to make sure you have enough space now. Enough space for the edge, for the defenses at the end. And you need a fire hose. That's pretty much all you need for the warning to go away. Now obviously you don't want to leave things like that because you will get damaged pretty easily. My recommendation is just to have a titanium shield or the metal fence that I showed you before, depending on your current level. Now there's another thing to think about when you place the defenses. For example, this one had 300 HP, this one had 360, but you can see how many square this one takes and this one takes, right? So it's like a double of this, but it doesn't have double the HP. So what would you think we should do? Correct. We should only be placing these ones because it's a lot more defendable. This thing is way... oh, no, wrong placement. This thing has a lot more HP. So imagine instead of... I'm losing 60 if I place the big one. 60 every time for each single slot. So it adds up to being a ton more equipment. And even if this thing gets destroyed, it's not going to destroy like a giant hole. It's just going to make a smaller hole in my defenses. And also, if you want, because it's so small, you can have 2 lines. Right? But then you need to push your gunners inward. And because the trailer is pretty thin, you need to think about how you're gonna act up. Now here comes the symmetrical part I was talking about. If I place this thing here, well, it doesn't fit. I can't place another one here. It's just too small. But if I place one of, those, fits exactly. See? And what you could do, again, takes more space, but you can do that, it's more defendable, is to do something like this. Come on, place it in the middle. Like this. Ta-da! Then you can make it more defended. I can't even speak to that, I don't know what's going on with me. And then you can basically make your entrance as much big, small, unique, weird, however you want. You just need to make sure there is enough space to walk in between. Obviously, if you make something that's stupid, the game would tell you, hey, bro, nothing is available. What are you doing? But once you change it back, everything will be golden. This is obviously not the best vehicle out there. This is just an example. From here on out, you can play with it, do whatever you want. You can also, well, do something like that. You can make 2 floors. You can make 3 floors. You can make a lot of things. Everything is unique, creative. Do whatever you want. As long as you're within the weight limit, you're good. Okay, so we have a weapon. Oh, we have a vehicle ready to play with. I always chose the weapon I played with in the actual campaign because I know it works and it's fine and everything is already built on it. I'm not gonna explain what everything does here. You can see with your eyes and understand. I will give you a very short driving explanation now. Q, left, E, right. If you press any one of them, when you're not moving, it will immediately move you onto the first gear. You can see right here your gauge. That's the first gear. If you press F, you go backwards. If you press R, you go up, like F, down, R, up. And you just continue to play with it as much as you want. Even for reverse. Reverse is behind stop, so you have to go all the way down. And our dude here would reverse. One more for stop. One more for drive. That's the first gear. If you press tab, you speed up the time. If you press shift, you slow down the time. If you go high enough, for example, just like real life, you stress the engine. Let's quickly go to the hill. You can see slowly right here. My thing is going, yeah, imagine, ignore the combat for a second. You can see the heat of the engine actually warming up. And if I go into the boost thing, you will see things slowly climbing up. Obviously, it depends on the strength of the engine. And, oh my god, so much noise. And how much of an incline you're going at. And the duration. So as I play more and more, I need to speak, fight, and also go to the place we need to go. Let's actually get some help. Then you will see that it's slowly warming up more and more. And if this goes and becomes way too warm, then you will actually start losing things. Now this is a great example to actually show you our next thing. For driving, you have multiple options. So if you go to your driver and you press V, or even if you do nothing and press V, you will see that you have multiple options. X is just what you're usually using. C is if you want to just chase someone, right? If you just want to start chasing someone, you can definitely do that. He's going to immediately start running after some kind of vehicle. That's not me. I'm not touching anything. That's him driving. Right? He's chasing people right now. I'm doing absolutely nothing. He might act stupid like this and run into walls. It's completely dependent on him. He boosts, he slows, he does whatever he wants, and he runs into objects if he wants to. Next driving mode is going to be excellent to show you here. If you press Z, it's just a shortcut instead of having to go here. Press Z, you can place a circle where your dude will actually drive inside that circle. And you can set the speed, and if you go slower, you can see the circle color changes. As we change, it's gonna actually change to reflect the color here, which is kind of nice to know without having to look down there what your current speed is at. And he's not going in a perfect circle. He's gonna evade stuff, he's gonna evade objects. Again, the AI is pretty stupid, so don't count on it, but just know that it works. Now, we can't do anything in the vehicle without combat. Combat is a pretty big thing with the vehicle. Now, I kind of explained it in my review, but just know that you have a driver, a gunner, captain, and a drummer. You can have as many as you want from each one. Obviously, driver, you can only have one. You can call multiple people drivers or gunners. I can change their name. Yes, it's not the game did it. It's just me. I might show you at the end how you can change the name if you really want to. And that's pretty much it for the roles. Now, for combat itself, each one has their own skills. Let's see if we can actually meet a group. Do we have any group nearby? Great. We have a group of enemies here. Hopefully they won't destroy one another. So for our driver, we have multiple things. First of all, we have this one, which is called Swerving, which increases your evasiveness by quite a bit, meaning they will miss you for a ton. Now, one of these cannot be activated while another one is going on. This one is just a side slam, so boom. And also for the other side, boom. It does a decent amount of damage and it's completely nice. And this one is just like a 180-degree turn, pretty fast. Next, you kind of saw me using already the commander stuff. We have calling for backup. This is a small backup. This is a big backup. You can see the amount of lightning things. This is if you want to call for refuel, so people will actually give you fuel. This one gives you more XP, and this one just finds nearby caches, which is pretty nice to find some side stuff. If you press space while you're touching the captain, that sounds weird, you can actually zoom into stuff. Look how cool they look. But it's not what it's used for. It's mostly used to scan for stuff like this. And once you scan something like this... Oh, it's a relic. That's nice. Might as well show you a relic. Let's see what's going on there. You can scan things like this. And find stuff. And once you go in here, you will get some more blueprints. I will actually show you this. Drummer, which is very nice. Again, has also a bunch of skills. This one has the VATS, which is... Wait, sorry, VATS is from Fallout. These things can actually recharge. Slow down. Can recharge this much faster. You will see increase the rate. This one stuns everybody near you. So everyone that's in a circle around you, once he goes in... Oh, he died too fast. God damn it. Let's go a little bit backwards. Can somebody come in range, please? Please come in range. Don't die. God damn it. They will get stunned anyway. They will get stunned. Believe me. They get stunned and then they can't do much. God damn it. I really wish it would work. Finally, we have this, which basically turns away worms. Makes it so if you fight somebody and then also there's a bunch of sandworm nearby, it will make things easier. They will not attack you as much. Next one is bringing in rain, which is very helpful when you're fighting against the pyros because they will start to burn everything around you. And the last one is regen. It makes all your guys regen over time, which is amazing. Amazing. Really love it. You should definitely use it. Let's go back to the captain. Once you get in range, you rescan the relic, zoom out by pressing right click, and then you will actually see that a thing pops up on the ground and there will be a blueprint in it. Blueprint can be equipment or vehicle stuff. Just like this. Come on, get closer. Then get your guy. Oh, for some reason my guys... Yeah, shoot this. Thank you very much. They were looking backwards for some reason. Why is he shooting the cap? It's already broken. That's it. And that's how you find secret vault stuff. Now for the final roll, it's pretty simple for the gunners. It's really not super complex. You already saw me using the VATS just now to explode this thing, right? You press, you choose a target, you choose a location, and you shoot, and you press again, and it just shoots like auto-aimed bullets at the same location. And this one is just a damage boost. And that's pretty much it for the rolls. It's not complicated. For the vehicle, there's not too many stuff you can do. It's not very active combat. It's mostly... Wait, am I going in the right direction? Yes. It's mostly passive combat because you just press some buttons and your guys do most of the job. You just get to enjoy the big boom booms. My recommendation for actual combat is if you get into too much trouble, stun people. Why not? Just makes it so you take much less damage. If you see that you take too much damage, you can stun them and also swerve immediately. So you take much less damage, so you increase your evasiveness and decrease your enemy's ability to shoot. On top of that, you can also use the drummer's healing, and you can then just start doing damage. Just start pumping out damage. Your captain can't really do too much. You can call for backup, as we said, but that's what I recommend doing during combat. Play with it and do whatever you want. It's not too complicated, and I hope you actually understand more about the game than you did previously. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, thank you. If you didn't, let me know why, so I can improve. Besides, keep us safe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.